The transition to spring is on at Westbury, even if it's just a few glimpses. The melting allowed the dogs to hit the trails and enjoy the sunshine.
Hi, Joey. Hi, Joe. Hello, Joey. Hi.
Meanwhile, inside, our trim carpenter continued working on finishes for our home. Remember those glimpses of spring? Yeah, it's March, so snow wants to hang around just a little while longer. After trim, it's finally time for the painting. And shortly after that, the flooring install began as well.
Okay, let's see my areas. I'll let you go first. Yeah. I am right on the money. You're snapping. I'm good.
Kelsey and I both love thunderstorms, and the first one of the season arrived just a few nights ago. We sat under the porch enjoying the sights and the sounds. Back in the house, electrical and flooring were close to being finished under now wintry skies once again. Here's the first few glimpses of the finished floor, and more details on that later. As daylight savings time was just around the corner, some of the biggest snowflakes I've ever seen quickly blanketed everything in sight. So hopefully this spot in here is not going to be too much echo because we don't have any furniture in here yet, and this is sitting right in front of the island back here. But the last couple weeks have been quite a whirlwind. Kelsey and I were both sick for about 2 weeks. It was something that lasted more than a couple days.
That was annoying.
And then, you know, I was thinking about this, trying to explain that if you think about all the finishes in your house, you think about all the doorknobs, all the light fixtures, all the light bulbs, just anything that you can think of that are the final details for your home are things that we have been working on in the last couple of weeks. And it's stuff that, you know, when you buy a house that might be built for you, you probably picked out those things, but they're all installed for you. They're all in place, and we have had to do all of that stuff on our own for the last couple of weeks. And so I haven't done as much filming as I wanted to, but that process has just been so,
Well, the thing about it too is it's tedious. Like it's you install one doorknob, you install 15 doorknobs, and it becomes, that's what you did with your day was, you know, I hung the doors and installed the doorknobs. That's what you got done. It doesn't feel like a lot, but it was a lot of work.
What we'd like to do today is go around and sort of show you some of the rooms, unfinished as they are, but this will be, I guess, the first sort of tour of the interior because we've showed some snippets of things. But I think this will give you a good opportunity to maybe have a vision of what the final stuff will look like. And obviously that's down the road yet because it takes some time to get all of your decorations in place and all of your furniture in place and things. We don't even have all of that picked out yet. But I thought today that would be a good opportunity to get a vision of it.
Yeah, we're actually to the place now where when you look at a room and you say, okay, in order to finish it, it's maybe a handful, 2 handfuls of things rather than, oh, this room needs a lot of work. So we're getting closer, but it still does feel like there's a lot to do. So we thought we'd at least bring you up to speed and kind of show you what's left. We are coming up on a really big week for the kitchen and a lot of finishes happening here. Our trim carpenter returns this week. We had a couple of cabinets that arrived damaged and a few pieces that have to be replaced. So those arrived a couple days ago and we have those ready to be installed. Additionally, our dishwashers actually come this week and they will be installed. It'll be a couple weeks for those just yet, but at least they'll be here. And I cannot tell you how ready I am to have those back. I know I'm spoiled. Countertops are going in this week. Well, countertops only installed back here for right now. We'll have quartz going in on the back side of the kitchen wall. And then this countertop is butcher block. And we do have that here. It just has to be fine-tuned, cut to size. That might be just a little bit before we see this countertop installed, but this one will be going in this week. And then I'm really excited to get, I have a 48-inch range, Z-line range going in here, so I'm excited to show you that and what we picked out to finish out this spot as well. And then we have to get our range hood installed. So a couple things that are on the task list, but probably not on the short list for this week. However, by the end of the week, we should have countertops and cabinets finished and be able to share that with you. This room is still completely a construction zone. Floors should be finished down here tomorrow, so that's really exciting. We already have our dining room furniture that's going in over there. The pendant light is on back order, so we won't have that for a couple weeks, and the furniture is a work in progress. We're still trying to figure out exactly what we need. So this room is definitely going to need some attention as we tie up loose ends in other areas. I am currently standing in the powder room, which, as silly as this sounds, is probably one of the rooms we're most excited about for the finishing touches. And I think that's likely because we actually have some of the finishing touches picked out and it wasn't so overwhelming. It's inspired by kind of a unique piece of art that we found that we'll share with you once that gets hung up. But this light fixture I fell in love with, and so I've been super excited for this to get installed finally again today, and I love it. It looks exactly as I had hoped. We're deciding on a finishing touch of the vanity versus a pedestal sink, so that decision has to come yet. And then this room is probably going to be the first one we can consider fully decorated. I don't know if that's considered an accomplishment because it's literally 3 feet wide and 7 feet long, but we're checking it off as one in our books. It is finished in white right now, but believe it or not, we have plans to add color to the walls. So we'll be introducing some of that in here and not just going white everywhere, I promise. After a 3-week hiatus of no laundry machines in here for paint and flooring install, we are back. So I'm in the midst of catching up from all of that. We have butcher block countertop going in on this side on top of the machines. And I've got some custom cabinets with some fun, unique features for our organization in here, also with butcher block going in over on this side. Hi! Ernie knows how to open the door. If we leave it open just a crack, he can weasel his way in. Also coming with our trim carpenter this week will be the barn door, the sliding barn door that will close off the laundry from under the stairs. This back here is basically just a closet. It's an exit out to the shop, so we can show you that at some point. But that's just gonna be a storage area, kind of easy entrance to get out of the shop from this side of the house. So that should be coming in along with the butcher block very soon. Canning kitchen is also in similar state as the main kitchen, where we should see some finishing touches going in this week. Our trim carpenter is building us some floating shelves, so we'll have 2 shelves that run almost the full length of this wall, and then a third one we'll leave an open cavity above the sink. The third one will come down about here. I have a custom cabinet that is here, and that will be floor to ceiling for canning storage. So I'm excited to share that with you. I'm excited to get that in, get all my jars installed. We have the fridge, it's out in the shop. We've been using it, so that will go in probably this week or later this week possibly. And then this is the gas cooktop that is going in. So we just have to get that installed, and then the sink fixture. So the sink is in, just the faucet. So a few things going in for finishing touches here, but this one's gonna come together pretty quickly.
So this is the master bedroom here. It's hard to get this all in the shot, but we wanted to get a good shot of the finished decorative wall that we did here. So
happy with how this turned out.
yeah, it really adds a lot to this room. And also, of course, we put these sort of wall lights on here that'll be underneath the little side tables next to the bed. We're planning to get a king bed, which we have never had before. Although I'm sure the dogs will still find a way to push me out of bed anyway.
That's probably true.
But this color is, what was it called, Kelsey?
Texas Storm from Magnolia.
Yeah, so originally, believe it or not, we were in the Verizon store one day and saw the gray wall behind their desk, and we're like, that is the exact gray that we wanted. But they used to sell it as a color, and then we found out that I don't think they do anymore.
It's been discontinued.
Of course, over here on this side, we have most of this wall as all window, which is exactly what we wanted to look out on the view. And then we did a little splurge here. Well, I don't know that I would call it a
You did. This
splurge.
was your idea.
It was just a unique item that I saw. So this is, what are these called, Kelsey?
It's called a cage ceiling fan. I would like to have a ceiling fan in here just to keep air moving. You don't really particularly care for the look of ceiling fans in the room. So this was our compromise on getting a ceiling fan without it really looking like one. But the bling was your choice.
Yeah, so we went with something slightly different, and I'm gonna have some warmer bulbs in it that match this, so hopefully at night we can have it dimmed down nicely, and it should just kind of put a glow into this room, so that'll be nice.
Right.
All right, so this is the master bath, and we have the vanity yet to put in the vanity lights, so we don't have those to show you, but those are both here, and the custom cabinet that was made for this will go in here. That is done as well, it just needs to be installed. So hopefully that will go in this week. I wanted to show you though this shower that we did here, and we weren't exactly sure when we went to the store what exactly that was going to look like, because we had an idea of doing a tile shower, but I don't think we ever had anything really picked out as to what we wanted to look like. We had some help there from one of the designers, and I think this turned out great. This is marble tile. It's all natural stone here, so the bottom, also these coves here are all natural stone, and we wanted to tie in here. We love the northern Minnesota type of look with the stones up there, and that kind of has a similar look to that, but then just, again, the marble tile on here with a slightly darker grout on it. I think it turned out great, and we do have a glass door going in on this shower coming up very soon too, so we'll show you that once it's all done. All right, so I know this is sort of a weird angle, but I need to get my wide angle lens on here for some B-roll, so you'll get a sense of this room. But this is my control room, recording studio room, whatever you want to call it. So my plan in here is that I'm going to have my computer set up, all of my sort of audio, video equipment over on this wall over here. And then that way I'll be able to come in here, close these doors. These are some French doors that we put on here. I wanted black with some glass in there just to have a really nice look to it. And then we did quite a bit of soundproofing on these walls in here. So it's going to separate Kelsey's office from the other side. So hopefully there's not a whole lot of sound coming through there. And then also into this larger studio room. So I have a couple different set ideas that I want to do, set up some things so that I can easily take my camera, just move to a different location if I want to do a podcast or whatever I'm doing that day. So that was the whole idea of this. And then also back here in this corner, we will have a very special chair that Kelsey hates that I decided to get. It's burnt orangish kind of color, all leather chair that has really caught my eye. She's not exactly a fan of it, but you know, it's my office here, so I can do whatever I want, she said. In here we have just a closet for all of my camera gear batteries. I placed extra outlets in there so that I can do some storage, have all my camera battery stuff tucked away, not laying out like it has been for the last however many years. All right, so this here is the large studio, which right now has a whole lot of nothing in it, so it is very echo. But what's gonna go in here, I'm gonna talk about a couple different things as far as stations goes. And this whole house was built specifically for our workspace because we work from home. That's the whole point of the house in general, is to have working spaces that we can just use. So over here, my plan is I'm gonna have some sort of desk right in here probably. I'm gonna build some sort of backdrop here for a YouTube studio that I can use for sit down stuff, or also when I'm gonna do my podcasts or live streams, I'd like to be sitting right here and have a nice background right there. And this wall we specifically left without a window on it so that I could do that. And that way I can control all the light over there. Over here, I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. My plan was to just have all this natural light in here so that just depending on where I wanna film on what type of day, I can turn myself around and let all the natural light come onto my face here for some shots that way. So over here in this corner, we're going to have a little TV, small living room, I guess you would say, our basement furniture from before. We're gonna put up here for now just to see if it's gonna fit and it's kind of what we want. But we did put an outlet in the floor here too because it is powered. So we had to find a way to not have cords running all over the place there. But so yeah, just a corner TV here, come up here. If we have friends over or something, it's a larger area to just lounge around, and also goes into what we're going to talk about next, which is the bar. Over in this corner, we are going to place a small bar that we have. Down in our basement before, it was one of the spots that I really enjoyed just going at the end of the night, and I had just some real nice calm lighting onto a little tiny bar down there, and I have a kegerator, which I rarely even ever have filled, but hopefully that'll change in the future. So over here, that's where we're planning to place that, and then I have a bar light, special one from college that I haven't had any place to put over the years. So that's gonna actually go up here, and then we'll just have that in this location. And it'll be a nice spot for people to just hang out up here whenever there's a few more people that come over and we need a little extra space.
So this is the storage room. It is a very large room, and I know that sounds probably crazy to have a big storage room like this. It's the full width of the section of the house. It's 24 feet long, it is 8 feet wide. This is really intended to be, I guess I'll call it a catch-all. If there's furniture that's moving in and out because of holidays or vintage pieces or family heirloom pieces that need to migrate in and out, this is a place for them all to go without them sitting somewhere in a corner because we don't have any other room for them. So that's why we made this so big, just tucked it away in the back side of the house. We'll have shelving going in on this side. And then the other thing for me will be my office is going to double as our spare room. So this will be a place for me to have projects, ongoing projects that can be kind of swept in the corner easily and quickly if my office needs to become available for guests. Now we're in my office, which I'm really excited to get in here. Been working in the middle of our big open shop in kind of a condensed workspace. So this will be really nice to get my desk over in the corner. I'll have a great view out the window while I'm working. And we have our very first piece of furniture in the house. Originally, the plan was to do a Murphy bed over on this wall, and we found one that we did really like, but it was huge and it was going to take up the entire room. That was not the purpose. So this sofa sleeper will be a great dual purpose piece of furniture for us so that I can have a couch in here and place for the dogs to kind of rest while I am working as well. So this room is going to come together rather quickly. Really all we have to finish off in here is the quarter round around the floor, and then we get furniture in here. This is going to be a great space for work and comfortable place for people to come stay. This is the upstairs bathroom, so this will get used a lot because both of our workspaces are up here. We have a little vanity set inside here, and the thought was to put the matching vanity cabinet right next to it. So as you walked in, you'd have a place for towels and things like that. They only come in 5-foot heights. So since we have 9-foot ceilings, we decided that would kind of be a waste of space, and we had asked Paul to put in a small wall here. So we will have floor to ceiling open shelving right here for some storage and decorations and things like that. And then vanity with the sink and the vanity light. And then obviously we have the shower back behind us with a tub in it as well. So dog baths and things like that.
Now for a moment that I know many of you have been waiting for, which is our flooring reveal that we thought really long and hard about, and then have a funny story to tell you about that.
I don't know if you caught the video where we were trying to decide. I laid a piece, this flooring that we had in our old house, down on the floor, and I said, don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. We found out that this flooring that we really love, it's durable, we love the color, and it's easy to clean, it held up to the dogs, all of that has been changed. So not discontinued, but the make it now only with painted beveled edges. So there's separation between those tiles and it looks a lot more like tile. It's not what we wanted, so we were back to square one and had to change our minds on what we wanted. We agonized over that decision, we worried over that decision, and the flooring got delivered, and it's pretty much the same. Nearly the same color.
Just slightly lighter, and I think maybe slightly more texture to it as well, but you really can't tell a difference unless you have these right next to each other. So this is the same brand, it's just a different color. This is the Aduramax floor by Mannington, and this is the Aspen Lodge color.
That's correct.
So it's supposed to be mimicked after an oak floor or something that has some weathering to it, some nice knots and everything. And the nice thing about these vinyl floors is that they do have that actual texture to them. When you see a knot, it does feel like a knot. Not exactly like wood, but you know, it does have a somewhat accurate feel to it, but they do have a lot more give. They have a nice foam pad under there and some thickness to it. So we're glad that we decided to go and cover the concrete. Not that that wouldn't have worked, but you could already notice on your feet just walking around that even with some shoes or slippers on, that the concrete was pretty hard on your body.
The other thing that we noticed is as we've been living in the shop, living on the concrete, and it's not polished out there or sealed out there yet, but it's slippery. And so we've noticed if you have sock foot or slippers without traction or something, it is a slippery floor. So we're glad to have a little bit of this texture. We do have senior dogs, and they tend to feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that they have something to grab onto when they're walking and getting up instead of a slippery floor. So this will be great. And then we did pick out a little bit of carpet to go on the stairs, so that's getting installed this week as well. And all the flooring should be finished.
So that's sort of a tour today of the unfinished home, I guess you would call it. We're not quite in here to call it home, but we're getting very, very close. Hopefully this week, starting to move in some furniture and move in our life and start to get settled back in here. So we really appreciate you coming along for this and following along, and we will continue to update you as we finish spaces and show you some of the final design when that happens too.
Right. Paul said when we got drywall done, he said, oh good, you're about halfway there. And it's really true. There's a lot of finished work to do, but we're glad that you're on the journey with us, and we'll see you in the next one.